Hello, this is Blue Diamond Coasters, and I'm here at the Delaware State Fair. This is our annual fair for the state of Delaware. We don't really do county fairs, but since we're a small state, we can just do one big state fair. And there's a few rides here, including 3 coasters, 2 of which I can ride. One of them's a dragon wagon that I can't ride, but there's a couple of coasters here, which means for the few days of the year, Delaware actually has some coaster credits in the state. I already have these credits, but I wanted to head on in and also do some of the flat rides. There's some pretty interesting flat rides I wanted to try out. And it's kind of surprising that in the 4 years I've been doing this channel as the Delaware coaster enthusiast, I've never actually done a video for the Delaware State Fair. So I'm looking forward to showing you guys what my state fair has been like. I've been going here for probably 20 years now. So let's head on in and get this state fair day started.
Don't miss tonight's show, Please Traveler with Jim Watson.
So I was actually here last night for Gabriel Iglesias.
I love you too, bro. Thank you. Please take a picture of this. We did that just for you. That's specific. May I take a picture of you?
Yeah!
All right, do me a favor. Turn on your flashlights. Aim them up here.
I've been a fan of his since I was a kid, so it's great to see him again. Tonight's performance is Blues Traveler with the Spin Doctors. I won't be staying that long. I'll only be here for about a few hours, but yep, this is the long stretch of just every possible like fair food you could imagine. Alright, picked up a card with about 30 tickets on it, or 30 credits, I guess. I don't think it might be worth it today just to get the wristband because I'm only going to be here for a little bit. Plus, I'm not exactly sure what all I can do. I know some of the rides, hopefully I can maybe convince people if they don't allow any single riders. But looking over here, one thing I've noticed when I was walking around kind of here yesterday, I didn't ride anything yesterday, but I was just kind of looking around. There is a lot more AI swap on these carnival rides. Not a fan of it. But over here is the main coaster of the fair, Super Cyclone, a inner park traveling ride that looks very similar to a Pinfari Zyklon. Kind of actually like the namesake of my channel, Blue Diamond Streak, that used to operate in northern Delaware. But yeah, it's your standard, you know, traveling coaster. Thank God, I know a couple years ago, Wade Shows brought to the Delaware State Fair RC48, which is another kind of like traveling coaster model. That one has over-the-shoulder restraints, even though like you don't need it. And I do know years ago they brought a spinning wild mouse. Pretty sure it was Amperla spinning wild mouse, but they haven't brought that in a few years. So. And I wish they brought it back here because I still need that credit. But anyway, let's hop on Super Cyclone. Got a back road ride on Super Cyclone. It's a solid portable coaster, a bit janky, but in the back row actually got some pretty decent airtime on that first drop. Although there's this trim brake kind of towards the end of the ride that kind of like really buzz kills. There's been a really great moment of airtime at the end. But for what we got here in Delaware, I'll take it. Just got off their Super Himalaya, and yeah, it's just your standard Himalaya ride. You can find these at like lot of parks. There's Music Expresses, Himalayas, but none of them will ever come close to Cosmotron. Anyway, I think next is actually going to be the big ride, or at least tallest. That's the drop tower. Alright, just got off Mega Drop, which might hold the record for the longest hold time up at the top. Like, I counted, it was literally a full minute just hanging at the top. You know, just long enough to feel like you've actually broke down. But other than that, it's a standard drop tower. You break pretty close to the ground. And kind of fun fact, I once saw one of these being set up, and because these are all traveling rides, they gotta, fit on the back of a tractor trailer. And if you look really closely around halfway up the tower, you can actually see where it kind of folds in half. Yeah, when I once saw them setting it up, they basically, it was folded up, and then they kind of lifted the top half around and then fastened it together in the middle. So yeah, that's how these transportable drop towers work. Alright, so the next ride that I'm going to at least attempt to do is the Zipper, which I've actually never done a Zipper ride before, but I've heard there are some crazy rides. Now, unfortunately, they apparently do not allow single riders, so I'm going to see if they might allow me on, or maybe I just find someone to pair up with. Alrighty, just got off my first ever Zipper. Thankfully I was able to find another single rider to ride with, and yeah, that thing is crazy. Definitely not the craziest flat ride down. I think Rocco Plane, you kind of get a bit more control at least. This one is kind of random, also just based on weight and where you are on the flips and the spins, but that's still a really crazy ride. Gonna head out of the Midway just for a little bit, just because I wanted to look around the rest of the fair. And there's actually one area in particular that I do want to go back to let's just call it Blue Diamond Coaster's lore. So a bit of history with me. 5 years ago, I actually worked here at the Delaware State Fair as part of their what they call maintenance team. Basically what our job was before and after the fair, kind of setting up some of the facilities, taking them down, including all of these pens. All the pens and corrals for the animals in here we had to set up. Basically it's just a giant metal puzzle piece that really hurt my fingers after a while because there's a lot of tight pinches and things like that. And yeah, it was about a month of 7 days a week work at the fair. But then during the fair they actually moved me to the clean team, which was kind of the janitor, checking trash cans, sweeping up trash, things like that. And I was actually really bummed out because I had grown to learn the people on the maintenance team, and I was kind of really bummed out to just be a janitor for the fair. But there was a hidden benefit that I got with working on the clean team. So over in kind of the north end of the fair is the Delaware State Fair Ice Arena. It actually used to have a minor league hockey team in here, but during the fair it's just the kind of display building for the 4-H and FFA stuff. Now, it's pretty crowded in here, at least in terms of stuff, but when I worked here in... Is that a Minecraft cat? An Iron Man mask? I'm gonna have to look around here. Anyway, during the year I worked here, which was 2020, and right in the middle of the pandemic, it was very quiet in here. Especially when I was working here, it was during the opening shift from 10 a.m. to 4. You know, and crowds usually don't get here till late in the day. So basically my region for my clean team zone was this north area here, which included the ice arena, a few of the barns out there, and this kind of pathway that's out there. But, you know, like I said, it was kind of quiet, so what I would do, I would make a round every hour, and then just kind of, you know, do a round in here. On the one wall, there was this, like, big hay bale, which would always create a mess. But then, for the rest of the time, I would just sit here. There used to be a bench right here, and what was great about it, it's the only place in the fair, or at least one of the few places in the fair, that actually has air conditioning. So that actually wraps up my time here at the Delaware State Fair, because I actually have to get going somewhere. But I did enjoy my time here, especially last night going to see Gabriel Iglesias, but also here getting to ride some of the rides and ride Delaware's one and only roller coaster, other than a Wacky Warman and Dragon Wagon, for about 10 days while it's in town. And speaking of last night going to see the show, I did actually get to see some of the rides here at night. I didn't ride anything, but I just kind of looked around. So, I don't know. Here's the footage I got last night. Cool. Anyway, just to wrap things up, make sure you do the usual. If you like the video, leave a like. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, be sure to subscribe to Blue Diamond Coasters. Be sure to follow at Blue Diamond Coasters on both Instagram and TikTok, if TikTok is still around. And until next time, this is Blue Diamond Coasters. Later.